republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dennis, would you lead us in prayer?
Let us pray. God, we're thankful for this beautiful day, and thank you for the ability to come here as a group and deal with the issues in our community. We ask for your guidance and our help in dealing with those and making the right decisions. We ask you to bless this food and bless the nourishment of our bodies, as we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, for our song today, I'm going to put you all to the test. And for some of you, it's going to be a real test because we're going to try to do, in honor of our speaker today, the Batesville High School alma mater.
Oh, Lord.
And I asked Aaron if he had the words to it, and he said, no, I went to Cave City. Okay, so anyway, we've got at least two students back here. Yeah, I can't recognize the students here. But anyway, so we've got at least two students, and I'm sure you all know it by heart. Okay, here we go. I may or may not know it, so here we go. So here's Batesville High, here's to you. May we ever be loyal and true, and proudly your praises we'll sing. Throughout the ages let them ring, and all through our lives we'll recall the school that to us was best of all. So here's Batesville High, here's to you. The orange and black will live forever. Great! Y'all did well. Y'all did well.
Would you like for me to
Junior high. Oh, there you go.
I can do that one too.
In a few years.
I thought we were in this rally for a
Yeah, we
second.
got this.
You may not know this, but we have someone here with us today who's been recognized on the state level for her work in tourism. So let's give Kathy Drew.
Yes.
I'm sure many of you saw the email, but we do mourn with Dwight Ford and the passing of his mother earlier today. I see that Pat Dunnigan has a birthday this week. I don't know that I saw Pat here, but if you see her, please wish her happy birthday this coming week. Phil Baldwin has been a member of the club for 4 years in the coming week. Just some reminders, RILA applications, Rotary Youth Leadership Academy. Applications are open for high school students in the county. That includes Cave City. We have received some. We need to receive some more. I know Brenda is leading the effort and reaching out to high school counselors about that. But if you know any high school students, we'd love to have them apply so we can send them. I think they have to be, Ron Carter was the one who read, I think, at the last meeting, the information. I think you have to be a junior or senior, isn't that right? Pretty well. Sophomore, junior. See, that's why I was asking for help.
No seniors.
Okay, sophomore, juniors. We also have our college scholarship applications open right now. So if you know any people who are thinking about going to college, we want to hear from them as well. I think we've already received quite a few applications, right, Amanda? Good. The district conference at the Clinton Presidential Library is February 16th. We've said that we would like to take 2 tables of students or people we can. Hey, Donna, good to see you. If possible. So if you're interested in going, it's February 16th, I think. Please let us know. We'll put you down. We'd like to have 2 tables at the Clinton Presidential Library if possible. That's a Thursday night, so you have to leave and go down to Little Rock if you're in the middle of the week, not a Friday. March 17th is our trap shoot tournament. I know Amanda sent out an email asking for help about that. We do need a big something we can raffle or auction off. So if you have any ideas about that, or if your business is interested in donating something that we could raffle off, please talk to Amanda or me about that. That's always a great fundraiser. I think 2 years ago it was recognized as one of the best new fundraisers in the district. So we're excited to do it again, and thank Amanda for her leadership with that. Dictionaries are ready. If you haven't delivered your dictionaries yet, school is back in session, and we have dictionaries at my office. So come and pick them up and take them to 3rd graders in elementary schools. We want to get those out as soon as possible. Donna, I know you just came in. Do you want to say anything about grants? We're in good shape on grants. I know everything's out there.
As far as I know.
Okay, good. The DHS bags are really the only thing we haven't, I guess, scheduled when we're going to do that, but it's something we will do before the Rotary year is over with, giving bags to all the students that are kids that are put into DHS custody. Ron Carter, Sergeant at Arms.
I think we'll just defer it to the new drawing and all. We've got a lot of absent matchups.
Nobody else? Rotary Friends Forever? They want to get up and tell about the Rotary best friend? Anybody? Dale and I had a great time doing it. Anybody else? All right. Amanda, Secretary's report.
There's several people here today. I'm excited about everybody that's present. We have a couple of Batesville High School students. If you don't care, please stand and introduce yourselves.
My name is Craig Hickson. I'm a junior.
And I'm Juan Medina. I'm also a junior.
Welcome. And Aaron, did you have a couple of guests with you today?
Yes, I have Madeline and Nate Tile.
Welcome.
I thought
Nelson, do you have a guest with you, kind of,
I do. My brother Charles is here. And then I persuaded our member, Peppy Grace, to come too. And so they're both with me.
Great. We're excited. Welcome. Yeah,
So we have is Kim, right?
Kim, yes.
Kim is the New United Way Director.
Yes.
This is her repeat visit to us. We're glad to have you here, Kim.
And we have given her an application for membership, so please help us in guiding her with the process of hopefully becoming a new member with the club. Matt, did you have a guest with you today?
Oh, yeah, I didn't invite him, but I'll introduce him.
He's my guest. I'll play
Barry's going to take credit. But, Barry didn't want to sit beside him. So, but this is Mark Davis. Mark is the eye doctor in town. And joining us today for lunch.
Welcome. We're glad you're all here. That's really all I have. I know Barry kind of touched on the trap shoot. I'm way behind on the trap shoot this year due to my husband and I being sick over the last several weeks. And in the past, Intimidator has graciously given us the Guru Grill to donate, and through that process, we've usually made anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 off of just that one little raffle. And I don't want to, keep asking the same people every year to donate to us. So if anyone out there has any kind of an item we could auction off, it can't be a gun, but if you've got something that we could raffle off, Matt, do you?
Well, I was just curious. That's just such a perfect gift. Would they be willing to sell us one for true cost?
I'm sure that's going to be about $500. So that is an idea. We could purchase one.
You start looking at guns or anything else that would be involved with the trap shoot.
That is an idea. We could purchase one. It would just knock about $500 to $1,000 off of our profits.
Sure.
So my thoughts for this year is, if anybody knew of anybody that had maybe some vacation rental property that they might let us auction off a weekend to, or I know in the past we've done Visa gift cards, that we can purchase those as well. But of course, anything that we don't have to purchase, the better, because we make more money, obviously. But yes, Matt, we could do that. That is an option. And I feel like if I went to them again, that they would give me another one.
Yeah.
I just hate to keep asking the same people every single year, if we have another option out there. So just if you can think of another option, let me know. Also, if you or your business, or if you know anybody that might want to be a field sponsor, it's kind of the same thing as being like a whole sponsor in a golf tournament. It's usually anywhere from $250 to $500 will get you a sponsorship. The $500 sponsor will also get you a team. So be thinking about that. I'm going to try to get flyers done as quickly as I can and get those out. But of course, we need those sponsors as well to help. So just be thinking about all those things.
Amanda, just go ask him for a side to give away, and then he'd probably give you real quick.
Yeah. I've got a mower in my garage. I could they probably forgot about it. I could just give that out.
Well, the question, I think, is what does Max want to win since he wins the raffle every year? So,
That's what we won this year.
You use your grill if you want.
Let's don't get anything that involves food.
Unless it's a gift certificate to Josie's.
all right, thank you, Amanda. And if Dwight's not here, be looking for your membership dues and statements. I think they will be mailed soon. Deanna's not here, but just the dictionary is the only service project we have in the coming week. Next week is not the Help and Hope Night, it's the week after that. Brian, you want to say anything about membership?
Just that we'll be doing a membership drive event sometime this spring, probably March or April. That's what we're shooting for. So.
Great. Dennis did a great job as a door greeter today. Let's give him a hand. Bill Olson is up next week. Are there any other announcements for the good of the club or the community? If not, then we all know Mike. He's going to be our program today.
You know, that school song, I listened to the football players, and it's like a mad flash rap. When I was singing at the end of the game, I couldn't pick up the words. They just ripped through it. So I kind of sounded like that today when we sang it. So anyway, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me. It's always fun to talk about our kids. And our motto is students first. And everything we think and do, we try to go with our students in mind. And obviously, that has different interpretations to different people. So we try to find the best way through it. And today I want to talk to you about our future and what we call the prescription for WOW. We just went through our restructure listening tours, and we got all kinds of great ideas and coordinated things with a strategic plan, and you're going to see some very exciting things come out in the future. So I want to give you a glimpse of that, what I call the prescription for WOW, because it makes you go wow when you think about this is the kind of work we're going to do. So, if you have questions as I go, please stop me and raise your hand. Let me know if you want to talk about it right there where we're at. That's fine. I'll also leave time at the end for questions as well. But we're doing what's called P3 for all students. That's Personal Pioneer Pathways. And Naviance is a 6 through 12 college and career program. Parents will get a website and all these programs that will start coming to them as their 6th grader. When they enroll, they'll be enrolled into this program where their 6th grader and themselves will start receiving all kinds of career and college avenues coming to it. If you think about it, you know what, I'm in education even. I wouldn't know what to do with each of my kids. They were different. But you're going to start receiving, and then they're linked to all kinds of resources across the country and internationally to follow your kids' interests. And then MAP is a testing and academic thing that we're doing. It tests where your kid's at, and then it gives prescriptions for what they need next. So whether they take off and do great or whether they're struggling. It finds them, and he gets prescriptions for them, and we use those prescriptions then to grow where they're at to where they need to be. And so anyway, it helps us, all this helps us. We're going to a web culture, which helps us with the speed and the real-time things that are going on today, makes it relevant. We also want to attract and retain the best staff, and as you've heard with all of our financial moves that we've tried to make, we're in big competition for staff and to retain staff. And believe me, when I'm in the paper talking and somebody hears something, other local schools are calling people up and trying to recruit them if they think they've got a chance, or if they hear that somebody's really good. It's that competitive in education. There's a shortage of teachers, and we're trying to also get ourselves in a better position to where we compete on not only a local level but the state level for staff. We have a written, taught, and tested curriculum that helps us to know that there's no gaps in a pre-K through 12 experience for students, that we have all the gaps taken care of, and that your student won't have gaps. So that's why it's important to have that. One thing that we do that's unique to Batesville and hardly anyone around is doing what we call care and data consults. It's the way we keep ourselves accountable. We use data-driven dashboards. In other words, all these things that you see that we talk about kids and where they're at their college career choices, where they're at in their math and reading. We have dashboards of where they're at, and we talk about the prescription and what to move and do that week, that day, to change and to move for what the kids need. And then it's all research-based. Then we also do a care element. We not only talk about what they need academically, but it's just the care of our kids, because we get a lot of kids with a lot of needs that come in. So we talk about whether it's ESL, whether it's minority issues, getting kids mentors. Maybe they've only got one spouse or one guardian in the home. We also have trauma-informed care. You know, we get a lot of kids come to school where a dangling participle is the least of their worries. You know, finding food, shelter, safety, all the trauma things that impact learning and teaching on a day-to-day basis. And obviously poverty and the issues that brings. We're going to close the digital divide. We're going to go pre-K through 12, one-to-one computers, and we're going to let the 6th grade through 12th grade take them home, and that'll be 24/7, 365 days a year. And then we're asking our teachers to use blended learning, the in-class face-to-face with the online. And just like anything, modesty is the key to everything, and you can't be too heavy one or the other. And so we're asking for them to find that blend that it takes for learning, especially whether it's at the age appropriateness or the subject level that they're dealing with. And then we're looking for expanded opportunities with our community partners. That means we want our kids to have some real world experience. In other words, why am I learning this is answered by, here's why, here's how it's used in the real world. And we already have some great partnerships with the community, but we are looking for more for our kids. We also want to be project-based. We want to make sense of things that serve a purpose with a project. That teaches a lot of things on teamwork. It accomplishes maybe some projects that need to be done, whether it's for the city, for a company, for our school. And so those are awesome things. And then we have a college and career ready partnership with not UACCB, but Lyon College. We're also working with Impact and Chamber on scholarships to make that happen, and all these career and college things. We also have, we found the preschool prescription. Part of the studies here in Batesville is that there's a huge need for child care. And we are trying to expand our preschool seats and services. Our research shows that if we spend a lot of money in this area, we get a lot of bang for our buck, because you start early, then your end product goes a lot further and is more advanced if you start early. So we're looking for more infant and toddler rooms. We are restructuring savings to offset child care costs. We want to try to maybe help our parents by the moves we've made to save money. We're also trying to then give it back by offsetting the cost of parents and even our staff on what it costs for child care. We need 450 seats are needed a year in just Independence County. Right now there's 250 available. So you can see we're trying to grow and make that happen. Impact also with Ford, Arkansas, which is the Rockefeller and Walton Foundations. And we're working through one of the things that we've targeted in our county to try to make a difference. With our new structure with Central Elementary School going to a preschool, and it'll take us a year to retrofit that building, but our goal is to be over 300 in our preschool alone at Central. And then having all the outside services that goes with that housed there as well. And that is going to be a dynamic impact on our community and a big draw. And I'm afraid we'll fill it up maybe within a year or two. Once we start it, we'll pack it out. But there's a big need, and we know we're going to help a lot of folks. It also has a downtown economic impact of the preschool. You know, when you have all of your kids in your district, like each year there'll be another 300 kids. That's new families coming downtown, seeing what's going on downtown, instead of maybe being off at one elementary school or one site that's not around. This puts our entire district in a 12 or 13-year span coming downtown at one time or the other as they drop their kids off and see what's going on. We think there's going to be a huge impact for downtown and the exposure that gives by our families having a reason to go to the preschool. All right, next slide. Let's go, there we go. All right, so the community center prescription. So now we've got this beautiful community center. And so we're looking for a partnership with them. And of course, they're just a couple of blocks away from our junior high and high school. But some of the things we're looking at, especially in our junior high, 6th grade level, we're looking at some of the things that we can do with basketball, with the bike trails. You know, there's a big bike trail going through. We've already got about a fleet of about 20 bikes that we can rotate around and make those use with our kids. Boating and hunter safety, and obviously when you live on a river, and with the game that we have here and all, that's something that just part of our lifestyle. And then we're going to restore a program they used to have a program called Every Child a Swimmer by 3rd grade. And so, you know, we've got this beautiful 12, 13 lane pool, and we've got that facility right there, and we're looking at our elementaries working with giving about 8 swim lessons to every kid in the district when they're a 3rd grade to try to teach them how to swim. And then, by the way, we're looking at grants to help us with this. There's state grants, community grants that we're applying for right now. One of the things I thought was interesting is log rolling. The community center, this was huge, especially in the northwest part of the country. But you throw a big synthetic log into the pool, and you have competitions, or just the skill and agility, and they say you will work up a sweat trying to hug that log. So there's a lot of fun things, kayaking. We're looking at health, first aid, and lifeguard. Of course, we need a lot of lifeguards there. It's kind of some instant jobs for young people. And then we're looking at some intramural structures with K through 6 and camps for our kids. And I'm glad to announce that we have Commissioner Ryan here today. He's taken on. So we have some great magnets. But at West, I had Dad say, well, my kid's not a dancer, I don't want to send him to West. And I can't afford to go out to Sulphur Rock with sports. So one of the things we're looking at doing is keeping all the good stuff that we have, but adding some things like intramural programs in our elementaries and helping develop like our basketball and wrestling and some other things like that. So we're looking at some intramural programs. Parents, community people help us run these things and give experiences for kids. And so we think, and then the camps and stuff will coordinate then with the community center, and you can imagine then with all that build up, a Saturday with tournaments and all going, and a league going on at the community center, it'll be packed out. All right, next slide. We're also going to offer a full range of the arts from elementary through high school. And also culminating with top-end performing groups at Batesville High School. So for instance, our choir, and you'll see that we have actually started what's called the Chamber Singers this semester. We're actually having our strings person started. Next year when we come on board, Alicia Davidson is going to be our our choir director that will take it over. But we've started the Chamber Singers, and you'll hear a lot of them. In fact, I'm going to have programs where they come in here and they perform Christmas music, or we'll make some things where they come in and just have some great songs and things for us as well. But also we'll be offering band, strings, and drama, elementary through high school. We also are networking through the Batesville Community Theater Group and the Fusion Group. They have plans that we're talking to them right now about using the theater and the other wing at the District Administration Center, maybe the old middle schools, what you may know it as. They're looking at a concept kind of like a flea market where you would lease space to like a piano teacher for lessons, an art teacher for painting, a dance group for dancing, the arts, just developing the arts and using the theater, and also being only a few blocks from downtown and coordinating with some activities in the outdoor spaces or with some of the businesses and the events to go downtown. And so we're really excited about what the arts have in store for the future. Next. And I mentioned this a while ago, but I want to drill a little bit deeper here with our personal pioneer pathways. We have Edgenuity, which is an online curriculum, and it's got all the units of study. It's got all the pre-test and post-test. It's got videos with it for tutorials, and it's got things that if you want to have enhancements or if you need correctives. And so that's a very powerful tool. Inside of that tool, here's some of the things we use on what we called our alternative method of instruction on the snow day we had last week, called AMIs, Alternative Methods of Instruction. So what we do is we give our kids lessons in either PathBlazer, UpSmart, or MyPath. And they get online, and this might be preparing them for the math and reading tests that are coming up. It may be in conjunction with some lessons and support that teachers have. It could be, again, in K through 6, math and reading things as well. We try to give things that were part of projects, not graded, because you get a kid that can't do it, then you're punishing the kid on a grading deal. But these are all check-off lists that they have to have done, and we can make up time with them to get it. But and then we try to make it web-based, because paper, just handling it, trying to get it out, collect it, becomes more work than the day itself, really. So we made it all culture-based. And then we have a program called ZAP, Zeros Aren't Permitted at High School. And obviously when you get to high school, you got a transcript with the GPA. And a lot of kids just like to be done, or they turn something in half-hearted, they just want to be done. And we just say that's just not good enough. And we're going to hold them to where they have to perform, and we'll just keep coming back at, you're going to put an effort into this. And so not letting kids, what I call, veg out on you. And so, or choose certain things to veg out on, then hurt their grades, whatever. And so, you're counting on us as parents and as community to make sure they're engaged. And so we've got a whole system where we catch kids on zeros and just keep pushing. You're not done yet. You're not done yet. And we want you to perform. It's important that you know what we're talking about, not just busy work. And then our map, as I told you before, this diagnoses where a kid's at. And when it diagnoses them, if it says they're on a 3rd grade level, maybe 3rd month, it puts it right back into this program, maybe here, 3rd grade, and where their lessons come out, that when they pull up their account, this diagnosis puts them on 3rd grade, 3rd month activities. So when we have these diagnostic tests that we run at the beginning, middle, and end of the year, it then talks to all these other programs and puts their account to where they should be and the appropriate lessons, reading levels, lexile levels, everything. And so it is an amazing personalized learning system. And then our careers, obviously, Naviance, I cannot tell you how wonderful Naviance is. It's an international program, and you will get, if your kid says that, let's say they want to be a graphic designer, they'll get offers and information from all across the world about that career as you go through. If they change, it just adapts to them and pulls all that data into the parents and the kids for opportunities and where to go. It also keeps up with your ACT and when it's available. It also sends you, this program follows college recruiters. So if you've identified a place where you want to be, as a 6th grader you want to make it to Stanford, it will show you all the steps and start logging on to the recruiters of Stanford and make them, put them on your list where you're communicating with them. So it's an amazing thing that we've got going for our kids. We also teach personal finance as part of the new things that's coming out here, but we're using EverFi, and all these are web-based solutions. The ACT work keys are soft skills, work skills that business people have identified that our kids need to have. They'll take those and have a score and have some prescriptions what to do. Next slide. Our one-to-one Chromebook initiative, this is so big. As I've told you before, there are a lot of homes that don't have connectivity. They don't have access to a machine. And the reason we send it home is it's bigger than just school. It's about closing the digital divide for those parents or for a multiple family that may need access. And we're also going to work where our things, we're going to get on, make sure we're clearing all the filters, whether it's in the new public library and with what we work with, so that wherever they go, people can use it and be a part of what's going on the web culture. Because if they're not in it, we're losing. And we're going to make sure our kids are empowered for all of tomorrow's challenges. We're also looking at, our kids spend 2 to 6 hours on an activity bus on any given trip that we may take. And so we're also looking at having Wi-Fi on our coach activity buses, where that with this one-to-one, they'll have access to all their homework, and so they're not punished or penalized because they want to be active and they want to pursue a lot of things. A lot of times you're penalized because you can't do your work. And by having Wi-Fi access, that gives them hours of time and availability to people online to get these things done. We're also pursuing a community center grant right now. We're looking to help pay for some of that 3rd grade swimmers. We're keeping the competitive 6th grade sports at Sulphur Rock, so not only are we doing intramurals, but we're keeping the 6th grade competitive things going that we've had before. And again, as we told you, intramural sports at each elementary. We added bowling this year, and man, we are doing great. I don't know if really don't think we've lost yet. You guys, we've won pretty good. Do you guys know? I think we won Friday even. So I don't think they've lost yet, so it's been amazing. And we're looking at a wrestling team for next year. What's nice about this is we are in partnership with Lyon College. Lyon has a beautiful wrestling facility. They got wrestling expertise. And not only we've started at high school, but in our intramural programs and with the community center, we're talking about maybe wrestling tournaments and things that we can use through the community center. And the use of Lyon College and their facility and their all the wrestling expertise that they have as well. And then, of course, our field trips, we're going to keep all the good stuff for the kids on the field trips as well. All right, next slide. Facilities and operations. Obviously, we have reconstructed our pre-K through 12 facilities, and we filled out these impact charts from everybody. We tried to anticipate all the intended and unintended consequences, and we had a lot of people filling out a lot of spreadsheets where, again, this is comprehensive. I think it fits so well. We've used so many people. That's why that I think it has so much support going for it. We're also looking at efficiency audits because what we're trying to do is we figure we got to start on our own front porch about where we find money. And so I will tell you, I am so proud of our people. I think today we found $200,000 before we even talked to the public about things. And so I am really excited because all that means we can try to get competitive with our pay scales. Innovative visioning, I think you've seen some of the stuff that people are talking about. Organized abandonment, getting people to quit doing what they don't need to do is probably harder than it should be. And that's what we've given permission to people to stop doing things that really just don't matter. We want to become a destination district. That means somewhere down the road a millage, because there's some safety and student-centered facilities that we're talking about. We're talking about maybe a future state-of-the-art theater and a new gymnasium, which would help us complete our destination district prescription. All right, questions that you have? Yes?
Just one small thing you mentioned about the trips. The 6th graders at Central are going to get to go to Dolphin Island next year. Now I hear they're not. Is that inaccurate?
No, that's true. The trip, they're going to give the money back or do something with them this year or something. They're working on it. We're telling the parents and the administration to talk about it and give us a solution of what they want to see done. But when we go to 6th grade, everything's changed. There's a 6th grade emphasis for where they're at, and it just would be carrying too much of a burden for the school there to carry on versus what they're doing. So we're asking Central parents to figure that out, and even all the other elementary schools, because they got other people come. They're looking at consolidating their trips to the ones that really matter. It's kind of the organizational abandonment, and maybe all of us doing the same things that are really important, or at least the ones that they want to do. So we're letting them look at that and see what they think. Yes, sir.
Help me understand the connectivity issue for those that don't have Wi-Fi or something in their home. How are y'all going to try to resolve it?
Well, the quickest thing that we do is you try to work with your providers to get, there's about like $10 internet that's available. And what we try to do is in our free and reduced lunch packets, we try to get those applications for that affordable internet access in their packets, and we try to push that. But I will tell you, like on our AMI day we had the last snow day, it was interesting. I had one parent get on Facebook and say, I can't get access for my AMI, but yet somehow they found access to get on Facebook to say they couldn't get access. So it's like we're still trying to figure that one out. But most kids tell us, even if they don't have it at home, that they can find access. And so finding access versus having it at home is really two separate issues. And most kids tell us they can find access somewhere. But if you ask the question, do you have it in your home, you get different answers on that. I think I asked a room full of 42 sixth graders how many had it at home, and I got, since 42, 41.5 said they had it at home. The 0.5 was a kid who raised his hand first and then pulled it back down, so I don't know which one it was. So.
I think a lot of that, what I heard was parents, the kids didn't remember that they were given their login credentials and all that kind of thing, and that was just where one of my kids had a little hiccup that they figured out.
Sure. Yeah. Believe me, whatever our assignments were now is better than trying to bring them back after Memorial Day in June and trying to get them to focus after they know school's out, but yet we got to be here. So it really is a smart move by the state to let us do some makeup work or something on the snow day and count that as a day where we don't have to come back after Memorial Day, because you've tried to put everything up and the kids know it doesn't matter because the grades are in, and it's a smart move on the state to help us.
Mike,
Yes.
can you say just a little bit more about your ESL at Batesville?
Yes. We are at about 20, it's actually about 22% ESL families. And your goal in ESL is to get everybody where they're English proficient. And you usually you get a kid when they're elementary, and you hopefully have them out of it by the time they get to secondary school, that they've overcome the language barriers. And but then that doesn't stop that you get people moving in and it's their first time and maybe their second time. And so in our ESL, it takes more resources obviously to overcome those barriers. And then on ESL issues, whether they're here legally or not, and whether they want to talk to, I'm going to refer to myself, the man, because I represent the man, that if we find out certain things, they think that they're going to go be deported or whatever. And so trying to get families to be real with you and let you meet their needs versus doing all the legal aspects is a real balancing act. And so you got to do that through relationships and through connectivity. And we're starting with we're working with some of the industry in town, and we're also working with our minorities. Like we're going to start with our staff who are minorities themselves, because first of all, they're pretty educated, they're pretty connected, and so we're starting with them about our networks and how to get information out in our services where maybe we can, instead of a kid staying home and being scared, get them to where they can get to school and have an education and be productive and try to change for generations the culture that maybe is a vicious cycle for them.
Thank you, Mike.
Sure, thank you.
And as you know, we will be donating a book to the local library pursuant to our literacy project. An honor for you speaking to us today. Now it's time for the Joker draw, I think. While she's doing that, next week we'll hear from Dr. Jones as our speaker, just so you know.
Okay, we've got 23180 8035.
Hey,
8035.
See, I let you go first.
there you go.
Good job.
It's an
You won't
8035.
do that again.
Mike, see what being nice does to you?
Come on, hit it.
Oh, bless your heart.
Good try.
At least I got the.
That's right.
What are the odds now, Amanda? They're pretty low, aren't they?
We're under 20 cards and close to $1,200.
Okay. Any other announcements for good of the club or community? If not, we'll end with the four-way test. Number 1, is
Is
it
it
the
true?
truth? Number 2,
Is it fair to all concerned?
Number 3,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
And number 4,
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
have a great week.